Hey everyone, in this video we're going to meet up with Rob Greenfield. He's a really inspiring guy, and now he's living in a tiny house that he built for only $1,500 using reclaimed materials. In this video, Rob's going to
Chad, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to buy a bunch of land,
a full tour, and explain how all the systems work. Because in addition to building the tiny house, he's also collecting rainwater, growing and foraging 100% of his food, using a biodigester to create fuel, and a lot more. On top of that, he's doing all of this in an urban backyard.
Dude, honestly, like I would love to be able to actually make my own food and like do all this self-sustainable shit. Do you know how much money you save? Do you know how much fucking money you save doing this shit? Yes, it takes a lot of fucking time and it's annoying, and DoorDash exists. But man, you save so much money.
We're also going to ask him about the challenges and benefits of his super sustainable lifestyle. So stay tuned because there's lots of good stuff in this video.
No, I will not stay tuned. Jack, calm down. He's not wearing socks, okay?
And so for me, this tiny house and this homestead that I've created, it allows me to live the simple life that I desire. I don't have any bills, no debt, no car, no driver's license. And really a lot of that is possible because this little homestead
that's his pee jar. That's his pee jar.
Allows me to meet the basic needs that I have and really prevents me from overextending myself, from wanting more and having more than I can need. I have food, I have water, I have electricity, the little bit that I need, and I'm able to live a pretty peaceful, content life here. So this is the house here. It is pretty small, as you can see. It's about 100 square feet, 10 foot by 10 foot. And one of the most important things for me when I decided that I was going to build a tiny house was that I wanted to do it in a way that had as minimal of an impact as I could. So for me, what that meant was using repurposed materials. So this was built out of about 99% secondhand and repurposed materials. And
dude, where do you find that shit, man? Chat. I'm doing this wood project for Amy. I'm building her something. I can't say what it is because she might be watching, but I'm building her something. And dude, wood is so fucking expensive. For 2 pieces of maple, like a 1x4, two 1x4s of maple, literally was $55 for two boards. Like what the fuck? I mean, I know it's maple, but Jesus Christ, man. It's insane. Go to Habitat for Humanity, never Home Depot. Bro, that's all I got. Shit, there's a tree outside. Dude, I'm considering just doing that. Just to chop a tree down. Yeah, I need to figure out where to find repurposed wood, man. Dude, I consider doing this when we get a house, like our other house with land. I would like to build an office like this. You know, build an office outside where I don't have to like worry about being too loud or stuff like that. Just use sheet metal. Did someone tell me to use sheet metal?
And I did it for about $1,500, under $1,500. One of my big goals through living simply and living sustainably is really to make it accessible to other people and to help them to be able to live in a similar way if they desire.
And then we have Elon Musk over here trying to sell his fucking box houses for $50,000.
So I see some of these really expensive tiny houses out there that might be $100,000, $150,000.
Yeah,
and my goal
ridiculous.
is to kind of show the other end of the spectrum of just how simple it can be, how inexpensive it can be, and doing it in a way that really minimizes our environmental impact. I'll take
an
you
office
inside,
with Shadow
but,
the Hedgehog and
100
Pig.
square
Yes,
feet, it's pretty small. So
I wanted to build Shadow.
Florida,
I'm actually, again, when we get land, I want to build Shadow an outside little play area. Because I might get more birds.
Very urban area. I'm just about 3 miles or so from downtown. And so the way that I designed this house was to really fit into the neighborhood. I didn't want something that really stuck out, since tiny houses aren't actually legal in a lot of places, and I'm not putting it on wheels. So what I decided to do is build it to be basically just like a shed. And that's the way that I really designed it. So what I used is mostly leftover materials from construction sites. So I'm using basic 2x4s and plywood. I used pallets as the foundation. The roof is just basic metal. These are secondhand materials I got off Craigslist for the windows, same for the doors. So yeah, building wise, it was a very simple design.
Never thought
I
I'm
basically
gonna see
did
this
research
guy
on
on
sheds
Pig's
online
channel.
and then adapted it for my
Who's this
needs.
guy?
You know, sheds aren't typically gonna have so much windows and such large doors, for example. Here in Florida, we deal with
God, you ruined it. He ruined it. He had to say he lives in Florida. Just, man, come on. You lost all interest, man.
Extremely hot weather during the summer, so one of my main challenges was designing this in a way where I'd be able to make it through our heat, you know, our hot, humid summers. So one of the most important things was just leaving the roof open so that I can have a breeze, a cross breeze that just comes through here.
Where's the window
Same with
unit?
the windows and the doors on either side. There can always be a nice breeze coming through here. Obviously,
Yeah, but where's the window unit?
I don't have air conditioning, and I don't even really have insulation. I used burlap just as a cover, and all that really is it just makes it look better, so it's not.
Where's the TV?
You know, plywood on the other side, but there's no insulation in there.
Where's the TV? Where's the gaming setup?
So this is really designed for the heat of the summers, and the winter is a little rough because I don't have a stove or insulation.
But like, you can get that though. Like you can get like you can literally build your own stove, man, with just some rocks. You build a furnace with rocks. What are you doing? This is just stupid. Where's your RTX 3080, man?
But the winter here is short, and I made it work through my first winter. Other things, the bed is just designed out of leftover 2x4s from the build mostly. And this is flooring from a house that flooded. Same with the floor down here. This is just, I got this off Craigslist. It was flooring that was from a house that had flooded. And this was stuff that wasn't damaged, but they were still getting rid of it. The desk is built out of pallets and leftover 2x4s. Most of the things that I didn't build, I was able to find used. I got this chair for $15, for example, from a garage sale.
Dude, you don't have a perfect back-supporting computer chair? What is this garbage? What is this trash?
The shelves are from Habitat for Humanity. You know, pretty basic, pretty simple stuff. You can.
What, dude? What? Can you get shit from where's Habitat for Humanity? How do you get shit?
See, there's just not a whole lot here. I always have a little bit of hard time with the tours because there's kind of so little going on in here. But what's really going on is food. I'm currently doing a project where for 1 year I'm growing and foraging 100% of my food. So what this house really is a capsule for my food. Over here I've got pumpkins that I grew last summer. These are called Seminole pumpkins. These are all fermented.
What do you do with the pumpkin? Is there like a refrigerator? All right, come on.
Like
cum jars,
honey wine and vinegars and ginger beer.
See, the thing is, I would do something like this, but this is like too minimal. Like you need insulation, you need a window unit. Like you need some shit, man. Come on.
And John and such. A small library of books. A lot of these are about how to grow food. More food down here. If I come back here. This is another one of my food storage shelves. I have lots of honey. I have 4 beehives, 2 here and 2 at another place.
The fuck?
Last fall I got 75 pounds of honey, and it's been plenty for me. It's a really important part of what I'm doing. And then I do a lot of...
What do you just eat the honey?
Foraging. So here's citrus, oranges, grapefruits, lemons. Here is papayas. I grow these in my garden. And down here, I've got a lot of my staples. So pigeon peas that come from my front yard, pumpkin seeds, lots of herbs like onion and garlic, dried. Got things like my coconut oil that I make from coconuts that I forage, and salt from the ocean. So really...
Salt from the ocean? Huh?
You know, the purpose of me living here in Orlando for 2 years and having this tiny house is a part of this project of growing and foraging 100% of my food for a year. So that's really what this whole house is based around. I live pretty simply with pretty minimal stuff. This is my clothing shelf right here.
But like, what do you eat? Like, okay, so everything in here, what do you make out? Like, well, what food do you make out of a papaya, honey, and seasonings? Yeah, so you could just cook salt down, or you could cook water. Oh, that makes sense. Just cook it down.
All of my clothes fit pretty comfortably onto one shelf.
Where the fuck is G Fuel? Chat, they dropped me, man. I wasn't selling enough G Fuel. They said, bitch, you suck, get out.
These are some of my personal possessions here. You
No
know,
joke.
hygiene-wise, I don't need a whole lot of things.
Bro, he's got some smudge sticks up there.
A bamboo toothbrush, a chew stick, that's an alternative way of cleaning teeth, some essential oils, dental floss, you know, not a whole lot. Pretty basic stuff there. In my last tiny house, I lived off the grid. So I had solar panels to meet my electrical needs, and I wasn't connected to the public utilities for water. For this project, I decided to be connected to the municipal.
Yo, thank you so much for the 5. Mia. Love your streams and videos. Have a wonderful day. You too. You too.
Electricity. One of the main reasons is the deep chest freezer.
Why is he so echoey?
So I store lots of food in here, things like prickly pear.
Oh no, what the? Can you guys hear that the whole time?
Cactus fruit. Just,
That's better.
You know, bags of things that I'm trying to save. This is roselle, for example. It's important to be able to store bulk amounts of food, like this is yucca, for example, one of my staple crops. So the thing about the deep chest freezer is it only uses about $3 a month in electricity, but I can store about 200 pounds of food. So I just have an extension cord that's running from the property that I'm on, and I'm using less than $10 a month total. So I was originally going to do solar panels, but I'm just living here for about 2 years and realized I didn't really feel like the trade-off of spending the money on solar and having them for a short period of time was really necessary, and I felt like it's actually more sustainable to be connected to the grid for the little bit of electricity that I use rather than doing something like buying new solar panels. So I have just 3 plugs, so it minimizes the amount of electricity I can use. My computer is one thing that I'm often using.
Chat. We need to stop a second. Someone in chat just told me, can you put down your bird? He's being kind of loud. Should I ban him? We have a shadow shit talker in my chat. Should I ban him? Are you shit talking my bird right now? You're shit talking Shadow? Here, wait. What was it? I'm sorry. What was the title of this stream again? Go look. Go look what the title of this stream is. Yeah, you tell him. Tell him, Shadow. Go look. Go look at the title of the stream now. Now. Bitch.
Using a lamp and other basic things. The bed, this is where I store things underneath. Plenty of space to store things. A lot of this is food oriented as well.
All of his
One of the big things is my bee boxes, the honey supers for when they're not using those. So just some very basic storage. I would have a bed on the ground, but it's kind of key for the storage. In an ideal situation, I'd like to have a loft, but just didn't quite play out this time. The bed works as a couch or my bed. Just simply pull it out like this, and I've got my bed, and then put it back, and there's the couch. And it's not always that simple or easy, but behind it here is a mosquito net. So you can see this place is very open. I don't have screens in the windows.
Why?
So I have a mosquito net, so at night I put that over. Don't have to worry about the mosquitoes at night. They get pretty tough here in the summer. This summer I'm probably gonna put screens on the window and a net here, and then put mosquito nets up there because it was pretty rough last summer. I decided not to do it on wheels because I just really don't want to be moving around a tiny house, and because a trailer would have been the most expensive part. So I built it right here on pallets, and it'll stay here. That's pretty much the inside of the house. I don't spend most of my time inside of my house. I spend more of it out in my community or out in my yard, in my outdoor kitchen, and things like that. So I'll take you outside now. So this is my outdoor kitchen behind me, and I spend a lot of my time here. In a normal day, I might cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. One of my favorite parts about this is that I drink rainwater. So I'm not connected to the grid for water. I do have access to a hose.
But what if he runs out?
But about 99% of my water here comes from harvesting rainwater. I harvest it on the roof of the tiny house, and then for drinking water, it goes right into here and comes out pure, delicious, fresh drinking water.
I don't think it's delicious, chat. I don't believe that.
Behind me is a barrel, and I fill that up with water that I harvest from the property owner's roof so that I have more surface area to harvest from. And this is just a gravity-fed sink, so no electricity or anything like that. It just comes out.
Dude, chat, honestly, I like what he's doing here. I could see some upgrades. You know, if we, you know, if I did something like this, we need some upgrades, baby. You can't have no electricity. No.
Using gravity, using the weight of the water in the barrel. And then the water, when I release it, just goes down instead of going off into a sewer system to be a waste product for someone else to deal with. It just goes down a tube and then right out to the back where I've planted different water-loving plants. Bananas, for example, and
okay, that's pretty
taro.
Smart.
I have a few ways to cook. I have a solar oven, which I need to start using more now that it's going to be summertime, and my backyard is pretty shady, and so now that it's summer there's going to be more sun, so I'll start using that more. I have 2 stoves. I have a regular propane.
Like what is he cooking? That's just grass and papaya. Like what does this mean?
That I fill up a 5-gallon or 20-pound propane tank.
You're cooking salad on a skillet. What is this? Why is he cooking salad on a skillet? It's kale. Why? Is it kale?
That's what I currently am using at the moment. And then I also have a biodigester that turns food waste into methane that I can cook with. That hasn't been able to produce as much as I need, so I still need to keep my propane stove. I'm hoping I can get that thing running to the point where I can...
Like, don't get me wrong. I completely understand, like, living off the grid and making your own food. What about, like, making some corn, or maybe, like, making some watermelon, or something that's good? Papaya? What about cucumbers? You can make pickles. Like, there's so many options here. And he picked papaya, pumpkins, and honey. I mean, the honey's cool, whatever. But, huh? What? Come on, there's so many good veggies and fruit that you could be making, and you're over here making papaya and fucking pumpkins.
You know, be completely independent of the fossil fuels, but for now I'm still using the propane. So I also can cook with wood. The wood is just wood that I gather
from the
from the neighborhood.
What's the grow time for papaya? You know, off the top of my head, 2 months. I don't fuck. How would I know? I don't know.
Trees or heat-treated pallets that are clean to cook with. And if I have a large project like boiling lots of salt water, I'll use this. I'd like to have a rocket stove, but just haven't gotten around to making one yet. Over here is the biodigester. So food waste simply goes down into here, and it's basically like a
Where does he poop?
Around into a circle. And this is a way for me to not put my burden on others, not put food waste to the landfill where it makes methane, but instead it turns into a healthy, nutritious soil that I can then use to grow more food. So here is one of my favorite plants, if not my favorite plant in the backyard.
Lavender?
And this is my toilet paper. It's called the blue spur flower. It's got many common names. And not only does it actually smell great because it's in the mint family.
Like, come on, man. At least use toilet paper. You gotta at least use toilet paper, man. Or hell, if anything, just rinse off your butthole. You know, get the hose. Just rinse off your butthole. What is this? What is this? Like honestly, I feel like he's got some good ideas here. But then he does shit like this.
But it actually is just about as one of the softest plants. I mean, it's just, one of the
You're gonna wipe your ass with that. You understand that, right?
softest plants you can possibly imagine. So I grow my own toilet paper. I haven't bought toilet paper for about 5 years. And I just come over here, pick some, and then go over to the toilet. The amazing thing is that this actually stays good after being on the plant for a while. I've had it sitting here for 5 days and still being soft and strong. So that takes me to the compost toilet. I've mentioned it a couple of times already, but really my lifestyle is designed to not place my burdens elsewhere, but instead to take things that would otherwise be a waste product and utilize them to, you know, add fertility to the world, make the world a better place. Poop and pee is something that a lot of us are just basically kind of scared of. That
I am terrified of pee.
we think is this horrible thing, but it's not. It's something we've been doing for millions and millions of years, and it can be dealt with in a way that's environmentally responsible and actually
humans were not around millions and millions of years ago. Humans were made by God back in BC times. Idiots.
Grow us food. I have a pretty simple system here. This side is going number one.
Humans were made 2,000 years ago.
Is just used for the nitrogen in that is really great for plants like bananas, papaya, and it's diluted using water. So mostly fruit trees, bushes, and such. And then poop, I just use sawdust as the covering it up medium. And then there's a 5-gallon bucket under here. That is then composted. It's called humanure, and it's supposed to be composted for a year. And then that can be used for fertilizing fruit trees and such. So this is the compost.
So you're telling me you got a bunch of 5-gallon buckets that you're waiting. They're just sitting around with human feces in there for a year. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not knocking what this guy's doing. What this guy's doing is probably great for the environment, and that's awesome. But I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it this far. I couldn't. All right, I'm going to skip a bit. What do we got over here?
You know, of simple living and of really trying to take responsibility for all of my actions and how it affects the world around me. It is challenging. There's no question about it. I deal with so many challenges on a daily basis. Just to, you know, name a few, it's the constant upkeep, whether it's emptying the compost toilet or filling my rainwater system or filling my water purification system, or, you know, the time in the garden, whether it's, you know, maintaining it or the amount of harvesting or preserving. I do find that a small house tends to get messier a little easier because I don't have tons of space to store things away. So I do kind of find myself cleaning pretty often, but the good news is it's pretty short cleaning. It doesn't take long to clean up a 100 square foot tiny house. Living this outdoor life without air conditioning and without heat means that I am more at the whim of the weather. I am sometimes cold in the winter and I am hot in the summer.
I would think so.
So that's a challenge, but I've chosen not to outsource that burden to air conditioning, which means burning huge amounts of fossil fuels. So it's worth it, but it is a challenge. The insects are a challenge here in Florida, and not even having screens. Yeah, last summer I got bit by a lot of mosquitoes. So that's been a challenge, and with the outdoor kitchen, the insects are...
See, I like what this guy's doing, you know, to help the planet and shit like that. But here's my theory, ladies and gentlemen, all right? If everybody on the planet did this, it would make a difference. But listen, the small things that he could add that are a little bit of fossil fuels, like, he's still making the huge the difference. But it's just like, I don't know. It really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like it's going to save much. I mean, literally the world is destroying our planet like every day. It genuinely doesn't matter what you do. The reason I would do something like this, or would enjoy doing something like this, is just saving money and not having to worry about shit. But I feel like he's going the extra mile where it just makes him worry about more shit. But more power to the guy. He's definitely trying. I mean, a lot of this stuff in here is pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.